There was this old Russian guy, and he always played in the tournaments that I went to with his own board, and it didn't have the coordinates on it. And I was like, I hope I don't ever have to play him because I didn't feel comfortable. What's up, guys? So one of the most common questions that I get asked is, what do you think I should focus my time on next? Should I learn openings? Should I learn endgame? Should I learn some tactics or some middle game strategies? What should I do next? And as you can imagine, that's not an easy question to answer because it really depends. Well, what do you already know? And if I don't know what you already know, how am I going to tell you what you should learn next, right? So what I decided to do was create a list of all the chess skills that I could think of, starting with the very beginning, like how to set up a board and how the pieces move, to this is the stuff that grandmasters are doing and everything in between. And I actually made the list already, and I put it into an Excel spreadsheet, and it came out to be 229 different skills. Some of those skills are really easy, like I said, how to set up a chessboard, how do the pieces move, what's checkmate, and some of those are like very difficult, and you could spend like hours and hours and hours learning them, like solving mate in fours, mate in fives, advanced tactical ideas and sacrifice ideas and all sorts of things. But I think it turned out great, and I'm going to show it to you right now. Okay, so here's the spreadsheet, and I'm just calling it the Chess Skills Blueprint. And let me just kind of walk you through what's going on here, because I know maybe it looks like a lot when you first see it, but really it's pretty straightforward. So we've got the order, starts at 1 and it goes all the way down. These are kind of the main skills. So you can see the main skill here is rules of the game. And then we've got the sub skill. So everything that's involved in learning the rules of chess, right? How to set up the board, how do the pieces move, what's check and checkmate and stalemate, and on and on and on, right? So these sub skills, if you highlight all of these and scroll all the way to the bottom, that's what there's 229 of, okay? 229 different skills. And some of these are really easy, right? Like setting up the board. If you're watching this video, you probably already know all of this stuff, right? But as we get towards the bottom, that's where I'm guessing that there's going to be a lot of things that you probably haven't learned yet. So we also have the phase of the game. So like the opening, or does it apply to all phases of the game, the end game? The difficulty level. So this ranges from green, yellow, and then if you scroll down, you can see orange, and then there is some red at some point. Yeah, here's the red, which is the much more difficult things. So level of difficulty kind of just gives you an idea of how hard you can expect that skill to be. The time required, is it going to take you less than an hour? Is it going to take you longer than that? The reason I put 3 to 10 hours here for the notation is because realistically, if you're going into a tournament, you need to be familiar enough with the coordinates that if you happen to play on a board that doesn't have them listed, doesn't have the letters and the numbers, you should still be able to, record your moves. And so I know growing up, that was like a fear that I had, where there was this old Russian guy, and he always played in the tournaments that I went to with his own board, and it didn't have the coordinates on it. And I was like, I hope I don't ever have to play him because I didn't feel comfortable, that I would be able to notate. And sure enough, one day I got paired with him and I had to play him, and I actually did figure it out. It took me a while. I was kind of like, A, B, C, okay, 1, 2, 3, it was early in my chess career, but eventually with a little bit of practice, you learn that. Anyway, long story to say, that's why I put 3 to 10 hours here. I think you should actually spend some time practicing that, and you pick it up pretty quickly. But you get the idea, right? The time required to learn this stuff is here. The rating column. So initially, a brand new player probably isn't going to have a rating, or if they do, it's going to be very low. So I just put 0 for all this stuff. And then we kind of hit the under 1,000 category. So you've played a little bit, maybe you have some rating, and maybe it's 500 or 800 or whatever, but you're not over 1,000 yet. You should learn the next things. And then as we keep going, you can see we hit 1,000 to 1,400 and so on and so forth. I also have this completed column. This is just to make it easy to keep track. So, if you've learned it, you just select yes. It's a little drop down. In progress, once you finish it, yes, I've learned that. Yes, I've learned that. No, I'm still working on not bringing my queen out too early. Let's just say it's in progress. Whatever. And you get the idea. This is just to kind of help you keep track. And then over here on the right, I have this resource column, and these will take you directly to videos on my channel that deal with whatever topic is listed. Now, I don't have videos on everything in this spreadsheet. Actually, some of the stuff in this spreadsheet, I don't even know myself. Okay, this is not like Nelson knows all this stuff. This is like, if Nelson wants to become a grandmaster, this is what I should focus on. So I really wanted this to be a spreadsheet that anybody could use. Like, I don't care if you're you've never played chess before, but you'd like to get into the game, or if you're like an 1800, 1900, 2000 rated player, but you feel like, hey, maybe there's still some gaps or some things that I'm missing, you could still benefit from this. So that's kind of what's going on. There are two different versions of this. So this is the dark version. There's also the light version. It's the exact same information. It's just displayed differently depending on if you like the light or the dark themes. Personally, I like dark themes. I just find it easier on my eyes when I'm staring at a screen for hours and hours, but totally up to you. And you can see if we jump down to the bottom here, some of these more difficult ones, I just want to show you like some of these things. It's just one little line in here, mate in 4 or more moves, you know, very small little line here. That is going to, you're gonna have to spend hours and hours and hours practicing that. So I put 10+ hours, and it's very difficult, right? Like you need to find a tactics workbook and work through these 4 and more move combinations when you get to this level. And you need to be really good at that. So that's why I put 10+ hours. You know, exactly how long you need to spend on that, I can't tell you, right? That's going to vary from person to person, but it needs to be a significant amount of time. And so you can see some of these things, even just one line on this spreadsheet is going to take you a long time. Or, you know, if we jump back to the top, some of these things you probably already know, and it's very easy. So you're going to get a wide variety. This spreadsheet is available on my course page. It's currently 60% off, and it's a lower price than a lot of my other courses. I intentionally wanted it to be cheaper and more accessible to more people, because I really do think this is going to be a really nice reference guide for everybody who asks that question of like, okay, I feel like I've learned quite a bit, but I'm not really sure what to learn next. This is going to tell you, okay? And on the course page, you'll notice that there's a couple of different downloads. You can either download the Excel dark version, which is what I'm looking at right now. You can download the Excel light version, or there's also some PDFs, which are a little bit more mobile friendly. So if you're on your phone and you can't open Excel documents, you can get the PDF version, and most phones are capable of opening PDFs and working with them pretty nicely. So here's an example of the PDF. It's the exact same information, but you know, PDF form. And I took away the completed column because I don't believe you can use that inside of you know, PDFs. But everything else will be exactly the same, and you can't even click on these links and jump to videos straight from the PDF if you're on your phone. So that's what I have for you guys. I put a lot of effort and time into making this. I tried to include literally everything that I could think of from my life as a chess player. Everything that I learned growing up, all the things that I should have learned that maybe I skipped over, that I don't know very well. I don't know 100% of everything on this list. I know a lot of it, but this is going to give you a really good idea of what's next. And that's the goal of this. I just wanted to be able to answer the question that people would ask me, what should I do next? Well, now you can just pull up the spreadsheet and you can see for yourself. Now, one more thing I want to mention about these resources over here. So not every, you know, skill has a video yet, but that's part of my plan going forward with the channel. I'm going to be making videos that fill in all the gaps on some of these skills. And so eventually I hope to have a video for everything on this list. And so if you, when you buy the course, you get lifetime access to it. And so I'll just update that spreadsheet, post the new version, and you can just download the new one, which has all those links. You can also just modify it yourself. And as I post those videos, just, you know, add the links in yourself, totally up to you, but it's super handy. So like, let's just say you're going through this and you're like, oh, the point value of the pieces, understanding good and bad trades. I don't really know what Nelson is talking about. Well, you click on this link, takes you right over to the video. You can watch it, learn about the point values, making good trades. And when you're done, you come back and it's like, okay, great. I've just learned that skill. Or if you feel like you still need some more learning, you know, you can mark it in progress and go find some other resources. You don't have to just use my videos. You can find other stuff online, you know, about these skills if you want, but I do try to do a pretty good job in a lot of these videos. And I think that's a good way to, you know, to kind of learn. So let me know if you guys have questions. Like I said, link is in the description. It's on sale for at least a little while, 60% off. I'm not sure how long I'm going to leave that, but it is 60% off for right now. So make sure you take advantage of that. And yeah, I'm excited to hear your guys' thoughts on this. I put a lot of time and effort into it. I think it's a great resource. So anyway, stay sharp, play smart.